Now, if you haven't heard this tip, you should. But one thing I suggest every cyclist does is always has a reserve of carbs. We've always been told, have tubes, have CO2, have patches, have like all these extra things, just in case of, mechanical. But no one still really talks about what happens if you as the rider get the mechanical. What do you do? I just wanted to show you that view quickly. Greece is beautiful. So that's why I suggest you keep at least, depending on how much you ride on average, if it's 2 hours, at least try to keep 70 grams of carbs on you. That's not even enough. I would say at least 100, 120 max, because if you're doing, let's say, around 180 watts, 40-50 grams per hour should be fine if you bonk. Because you're not a pro cyclist, you don't know all the details. You're not going to be counting every single calorie that you're eating. You're not going to be making sure that if you go for a run later, or if you go for a walk, a stroll, these are all calories you're burning. You don't know how much brain power you use, how stressful your job is. All those things will add to how much calories you burn per day. So some days, you'll feel really good, you'll have fueling dialed in, and that's where pros are pros, because they make sure everything is calculated. Like I was watching a podcast with Quinn Simmons. He's having 1,400 calories of cornflakes in the morning before he does his rides. Like, he has everything dialed in. Coffee, he knows how long it will take him to go to the washroom. So like, unless you're that detailed oriented or that OCD, most likely you're not going to be doing that. Myself included, I don't. So that's why, even if you have good recovery, good fueling, you're eating mostly whole foods, you're doing all the stuff that you should be doing for proper recovery and proper, fueling for the next day, sometimes you're going to miss it. Sometimes you're going to go for an hour and a half walk. Obviously, if you live in Europe, I don't know if in America you're going to be behind the wheel, but you always want fuel just in case you need it. So my tip is, you can get dried pineapple if you want to go for more raw stuff, raw carbs. You can go for a lot of dried fruit. You can go for candy. You can go for anything that's going to have a punch. And obviously you want something that's repeatable. You want something that you can easily grab at the superstore, the supermarket. Don't want to have to overly think. So my tip is just please keep spare carbs. That's what I'm going to call it. Keep spare carbs on the bike.